If you look at this boat, you might think Robert Perry. Even most of the internet thinks so. But today on Sailing Good Old Boats, we're setting the record straight. This is the Ta Shing Panda 38, and it is a Gary Grant masterpiece. It carries the legendary Ta Shing craftsmanship, but with a hull and layout all its own. Let's dive into why this specific model stands apart from its more famous cousins. We found her tucked away in Olympia, right at the heart of the Puget Sound. In a strange twist of fate, she was listed with the exact same brokerage where I bought my very first boat, Time Spinner, an Orbeck 37. Seeing her there, it felt like a sign. We couldn't just walk away, so we went aboard for a look. And we ended up extending an offer. Now, did the deal go through? You'll have to stick around to the very end to find out, but before we get to the yes or no, let's take a look at her specs and performance data that makes this Panda 38 such a legend. So as you can see here, she is a classic long keel and rigged as a cutter. Construction made from fiberglass, and she got an iron ballast which is encapsulated into the hull. She was only built for 1 year by the well-renowned Ta Shing boat yard, but contrary to most people's knowledge, the designer wasn't Bob Perry, it was actually Gary Grant. There were only about 30 of these boats built, rumor has it about 33 I believe, so a very short production run. She comes in a little under 38 feet in length with a significantly shorter waterline, well canvassed, pre-beamy, and not even 20,000 pounds displacement, under 7,000 pounds of ballast. However, that deep keel makes her draw almost 6 feet. The Panda 38 is a bit of a sleeper. On paper, her sail area to displacement of 16 seems modest, but in the world of heavy cruisers, it's a powerhouse. With a displacement to length ratio of 271, she's actually relatively light for serious blue water work. Combined with Gary Grant's cutaway forefoot, she behaves more like a 1970s club racer than a plodding passage maker. She's a high-performance hull hidden under a fortress of Ta Shing teak, built for the sailor who wants a boat that can actually sail. The Panda is powered by a 32 horsepower universal M40 diesel paired with a V-drive to keep the engine weight tucked neatly aft. But her true cruising soul is in the tankage, 75 gallons of fuel and a massive 140 gallons of water. She was offered in two different layouts, either galley to port or galley to starboard. The one that we are going to look at here today is the one with a galley to port. So let's walk through the boat and have a closer look. How about if we start in the cockpit? She is equipped with a suite of self-tailing winches, which are a massive quality of life upgrade for a good old boat. On a heavy displacement cutter like this, being able to manage those high tension lines single-handedly is the difference between an easy afternoon and a real struggle. This particular boat here that we found seemed to come well equipped. It even had a set of dinghy davits and a dinghy. The cockpit is built for the open sea, anchored by a high bridge deck. This isn't just a design feature, it's a safety essential that keeps the Pacific out of the cabin and creates a secure, sheltered companionway when things get sporty. At the helm, you have the best of both worlds. A modern wheel with a traditional inner wood core. It gives you that warm, good old boat feel while offering total mechanical confidence. Behind the pedestal, Gary Grant's unique rounded yet square stern maximizes your deck space without losing that salty profile. With deep lockers and a safely vented gas locker for 2 bottles, it's a functional command center that proves this boat was built for the horizon. Although the Dodger and Bimini canvas seem to have seen better days, the bright work of the boat was in overall really great shape, considering the climate up in Washington. Moving on to the side decks, you're surrounded by their classic Ta Shing aesthetics. Wide secure walkways and an unmistakable look of teak-laid deck. On a Panda 38, this layout is fantastic for moving forward in a seaway, with solid handrails and a secure feel underfoot. The Panda 38 features a massive inward turning hull flange. The deck is bedded in sealant and through-bolted, creating a single rigid joint. The hull then extends upward into high bulwarks, shielding the joint from the sea and capping it with a heavy teak rail for ultimate offshore strength. However, this particular boat tells a cautionary tale. While the teak still looks beautiful from a distance, a closer look reveals the struggle of a good old boat. It appears these decks have seen too many sandings over the decades. The wood has worn down so thin that many teak bunks, the wood plugs covering the deck screws, have simply departed. When you start seeing screw heads exposed like this, it's a sign that the deck is reaching the end of its serviceable life. On a boat built with thousands of screws through a core, it's a maintenance red flag that any potential owner has to weigh against the beautiful profile. It's a classic Taiwanese yard dilemma, timeless style, but with a high-stakes maintenance schedule. Despite the concerns with the teak, the deck hardware on the Panda 38 is exactly what you would hope for in a world cruiser. Stepping below, the Ta Shing craftsmanship really takes center stage, starting with the galley. This is a proper offshore U-shaped galley, designed to keep you braced and secure, even when the boat is heeling over in a seaway. The double sink is nicely here at the center line of the boat where it drains. There's a gimbal stove and oven and an icebox that is accessible from the side and from the top, and ample of storage space everywhere around. Within an arm's reach, doesn't get any better than that. So right underneath the companionway here, the universal diesel with a V-drive. Engine access is good, but it's a little bit weird that you look basically at the backside of the engine. So the V-drive brings this back, then reverses everything, and that again places the engine basically further aft than what it usually would be with a regular straight drive aft. So that's how that looks like. Yeah, it's a little bit getting used to. So water pump and everything is basically on the other side, and there's a maintenance access coming through the pilot berth, so not too bad at all. Now talking about the nav station and the pilot berth, let's stumble across the companionway here and have a closer look. So all the electronics and fancy gadgets are here to starboard. At the nav station there is a decent size chart table with plenty of storage in it and around it and behind it. And the pilot berth is also of decent size, and that is the actual maintenance access behind it. So you can see here the pulley for the rudder, there's the batteries, and the back side, or well actually the front side of the engine Again, V drive, engine plays backwards. So that is kind of interesting, but access is good. So that is definitely not too small. And here at the very aft end, you can see one of the bronze seacocks, well made as it should be for a blue water boat. Yeah, moving forward from here into the salon, you definitely know you are on a Ta Shing. I mean, the joinery, the overall craftsmanship here is absolutely stunningly beautiful. She's very beamy, even though there's a lot of darker wood. It doesn't feel too much like a hobbit cave. It is roomy and wide enough that it feels still very pleasant. And all the tankage for water, diesel fuel, waste, whatever is below the beautiful teak and holly sole where it belongs for best center of gravity. And there is plenty of hidden storage everywhere. It is just well designed. You know, you look around and there's little drawers and cabinets, and everything extends basically to the hull. No inner liner there. So everything is accessible, and as you can see here, you look basically straight on the inner fiberglass. There's handhelds everywhere moving through the boat in the seaway. It is safe and secure. Heavy bronze port lights, good ventilation, and yeah, here again one of the tanks. I think that might be the fuel tank, or yes, no, maybe. Don't know, looked like a fuel tank. So there we have the chain plates, unfortunately slightly compromised as we can see here, and they go to structural members that are glued directly to the hull. So all of that has been designed very well, made very strong and easy accessible for maintenance. And we need to mention the beautiful butterfly hatch here on top. That is definitely an eye catcher. Now moving into the most private part of the boat, the head. You can see here the theme continues. It's just beautiful joinery, teak and holly floor, plenty of wood, absolutely gorgeous, and a separate shower stall. So really good size head with a separate shower stall. Doesn't get any better than that for a 38 footer. Fantastic. Love it. Now just across to port, a good size and well ventilated hanging locker for your foul weather gear. Now forward into the V-berth. Behind that privacy door is basically a forward cabin with standing headroom. Unfortunately here a little bit cluttered, but that is how it would look like cleaned up. So it is absolutely stunningly beautiful. The upper liner and everything together with that woodwork and joinery is absolutely amazing. The Ta Shing Panda 38 embodies a perfect blend of timeless aesthetics, robust offshore capability, and enduring craftsmanship. Including its bowsprit, the length overall measures roughly 40 feet 7 inches, giving it both a classic profile and seafaring versatility. It's a rare gem, only about 29 to 30 were built, maybe a little bit more than that. Rumor has it up to 33, not sure. Highly regarded for its liveaboard comfort and seaworthiness. Yeah guys, as mentioned in the beginning of the video, we liked the boat so much that we decided to extend an offer. However, we were not ignorant to the fact that she came with a pretty significant to-do list. And the other thing was, from our perspective, the logistics. The boat was up in Washington, we were down in Oregon, so pretty far away, and that meant a lot of expense in time and travel and everything. So we came in with our offer slightly below 30% of asking, and it was rejected. There was also no counter offer or anything, so that was basically the end of it. And you know what? Sometimes it's better that way. You know, either it's meant to be or it isn't. This time around it didn't come together for us, and I think that's good. We had some issues here with the teak decks. We figured that might have penetrated into the deck core. We thought we smelled some mildew under the deck liner there and whatnot. So all of that would have meant significant effort financially and time-wise in rebuilding this boat and bringing her back to ship shape. She would have definitely deserved it. After all, it's a gem. It's super rare. It's a beautiful blue water boat. It is a really, really good old boat. But this time around, it wasn't for us. And again, here's a little disclaimer at the end. I would like to point out that this is all in layman's terms. I'm not a boat surveyor or so on. It basically could also be nothing, that we just missed out on a tremendous opportunity here. So if anybody else is interested and finds that boat, don't be shied off by what I just said. You know, get a surveyor and get a professional opinion. I think it's definitely worth it because it's an absolute fantastic boat. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode and that we gave you a good first impression of the Panda 38. And we hope to see you next time here again on Sailing Good Old Boats. Until then, fair winds. Cheers. Weekly markets. Buddy, you see it? Oh, yeah, he's already rolling up here, huh?
Yeah, he's coming already.
Oh my goodness, that poor buddy. Alright, up in there. In he goes, bye-bye. It's great work. You'll be just fine, buddy. Yeah,
He looks like a spider.
Yeah, it looks a little gross to be honest with you. I can't believe we are going to eat it, but you know.
Looks like a spider.
Yes.